From the Badlands come the orcs and goblins, a green tide of brutal creatures that must be stopped.
Greetings and salutations, welcome to another Total War Warhammer guide. Today we are looking at Wurrzag. He came out with a free DLC, which is fantastic, meaning everybody gets to play him. You just need to go and download it off your Steam, totally free of charge. And he is, well, he's a nutcase. As you can see, he's got moves. He has got moves. He could go on Britain's Got Talent, but he's chosen to become a shaman, a savage orc shaman, and go kill some fools. He has got spells for days, okay, people? We're going to go through his stats, his attributes, and how we'd use him in battle, and talk about how much fun this guy is. First of all, just like to say, well done. This is a fantastic model. This is one of my favourite models in the game. I absolutely love him. So much character. Brilliant. So let's talk about him. He's a spellcaster, right? This unit could cast spells, just in case you didn't know what that meant. And he's got Frenzy. Units with Frenzy cause more damage while their leadership is high. Okay, so he's a savage orc. Yeah, he likes to fight. So he's got 3,700 hit points. He's got a pretty low armour of 30, leadership of 65, speed 35, melee attack of 43, melee defence of 25, a decent weapon strength of 340, 95 of which is armour piercing, and a charge bonus of 55. But you don't buy him for that. You don't have him in your army for that, really. That's like last resort, get him stuck in. He needs to stop dancing. He's getting kind of annoying. So he's got missile resistance of 15%. These icons are so small. We could go through it the other way, I suppose. He's got the encourage ability, meaning he's bonus to leadership. He's a leader after all. He likes to get stuck in. He can hide in a forest. He has the power of Dewar, which is an augment of the winds. It's constant, map wide, and it gives him a power recharge rate. Meaning he can cast more spells. Always nice. First up, we've got War Paint of Wurrzag. This is one of his special abilities. It's a constant around himself, and it affects all allies within 45 metres. And pretty damn good. Plus 12 damage resistance. The only problem is it's disabled if engaged in melee. Keep that in mind. But really nice constant buff. Who doesn't want damage resist? Superb. Next up, we've got Frenzy. This is his constant Frenzy ability, like Savage Orcs. Weapon damage, melee attack, charge bonus, and immune to psychology. Really, really nice. Loving that. But we're still not onto the good stuff. We want some spells. Wurrzag's Revenge is quite funny. It's a hex spell. It casts around yourself and affects enemies in range, and that range is the entire map, plus 40% miscast chance. This is a great little thing if your enemy, especially in multiplayer, if they go magic heavy, plus 40% miscast chance is very, very nice indeed. Then we've got Gaze of Mach, which is a basic magic missile with a 250 metre range, and it causes magical damage against single opponents. So those sort of well-armoured single opponents, really good. The giants, the big units of trolls, heavily armoured knights and stuff like that. Really, really good. And if you're up high, even better. Next up, we've got... these are the world's... They need to have just two lines. Just put a second line in, yeah, people? Put a second line in. Next up, we've got Brain Burster. It's lovely, isn't it? 200 metre range. If it's a flying... It's kind of a weird one because it's cannot target if flying, so it can only go on the ground. Lasts for 7 seconds. Got a large explosion area. So this is the opposite to the last spell we looked at, where this is basically for big units of semi-lightly armoured troops. You want to go after your big goblin units, your spearman units, your dwarf units and stuff like that. This is perfect for it. Obviously not so much dwarfs because it's magical damage and dwarfs have that magical resistance, but it still hurts. Next up, we got Fist of Cork. Cast within 200 metres. It's an ally spell and it lasts for 27 seconds, which is nice. Plus melee defence, weapon damage and melee attack. Can't go wrong with that, really, can ya? Next up, we've got Headbutt, which is a breath weapon with a shorter range of 150, and it's strong versus multiple units. Woo, loosely. Causes magical damage, expanding tear-shaped attack. I'm sure you've all seen them by now, the breath weapons. They're really powerful, but obviously very short range. And really, again, really good at units just before they get too close to you. Next up, we've got Here We Go, which is, I have to say it in an accent for some reason, Here We Go, 36 second duration, an ally unit, and gives them a massive bonus to melee attack, and all units within 45 metres of that unit. So really, really nice. That's a real good buff. Next up, we've got the Foot of Cork, which is literally just that. A giant foot comes down from the sky and squishes people. That's basically what it is. In the game, it's called an explosion. 200 meter range, and it disrupts enemy formations, and good against units again, but it does less damage, but it really messes them up. It sends them flying all over the place, so really good just before you charge in. Next up, we've got the Arcane Conduit, which is basically a constant, ran the cell for not constant, sorry, lasts for 40 seconds though, so pretty constant. Increases power reserves, power recharge rate, loving that because we've got a lot of spells to cast. Then we've got the usual leadership buffs like Foe Seeker, speed and vigour, might as well, it's free. Then we've got Stand Your Ground, which is the ability to plus leadership, plus melee defense on all units within 45 metres of him. Very nice. Then we've got the Wah, which is lasts for 24 seconds, around yourself again, all units within 45 metres, plus 58 melee attack. Very tasty. And then we've got Effigy of the Git. Direct damage spell, lasts for 18 seconds, it's very, very short range, 100 metres, and it's strong versus a single combatant. Causes damage to combatants, weak versus multiple combatants, chance opponent will resist the damage and they can't move. Okay, so that's obviously, that's what it says on the tin. Good against a single combatant, such as a hero, which I think there's one just up this hill. This is going to be nasty because I'm not going to spot the units until I'm the top of this hill and they're going to be right on top of me. I'm going to get murdered, but we're going to talk about how we'd use him in a fight. Where is he? There he is. Go on, waddle away, mate. He's not the quickest, bless him. So, it's kind of really self-explanatory. You want to use him as part of your main battle line, but just behind it, you need to, if you're going to use some certain spells like the breath weapons, you just need to get your angle right. But generally, as the two armies approach each other, you want to try and soften them up, especially with those big Foot of Gorks and stuff like that. A Foot of Gork on one of the flanks is really good to disrupt that enemy formation, especially if they're using a lot of, you know, light cavalry and stuff like that, because that can really disrupt them before you get stuck in. And obviously direct damage spells. He's massively versatile. The amount of spells you can use. The problem is obviously the power reserves are the thing that's going to kill you, because there's probably a good 6 or 7 really useful spells that he has and abilities that are just going to suck. He's got stuck on a hill. He's got stuck on a hill, people. Right, we're about to get destroyed. Right, let's stop here. Okay, so this is not going to be good. What should we go for? Because we're about to get murdered. That's the slight. We can Foot of Gork. I do love a good Foot of Gork. We'll whack it on there. As you see, most spells, unless they say instant cast, have this thing that appears, and the enemy does see that. So you do need to be careful. That does give him a little bit of a chance to get out of range. Obviously, he's not quite there yet. There he goes. He's just incantation. Okay, missed it completely. But as you can see, the disruption caused is ridiculous. And if you do that just before you charge in, then you can absolutely just destroy fools, right? Let's just go for the hero, shall we? Look, massive amount of damage as well. Okay, they're only Ungors, but that's still pretty good. We're going to have to get close for this, and if we get close, we're going to get murdered. We're going to get murdered. I think we'll go for let's go for a brain burster first, because it's a bit further range here. Why am I zooming back? We want to see it. We want to see it. These aren't the most intelligent beastmen in the world. It has to be said. They are just kind of standing there and taking it. What should we go? We don't need a buff. We've got the breath weapon. Let's have a look at the breath weapon. So we can cast it sort of here. Hopefully do a bit nice, decent amount of damage before we get murdered. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, nice. You do have to be a bit preemptive with it. Right, we need to boost speed, vigor. Put everything on. I didn't even look at it. I'm just mashing buttons now, people. I would have liked to do the effigy of the Git. I should have done that. but he's getting stuck in. He's a decent fighter character. Remember, at the end of the day, he's a savage orc, but you don't really want to commit to him in combat unless you really, really have to. He's not the strongest tank in the world. There's a lot better characters for a fighter character, but he can be used as a flank charge. Just don't get him surrounded, as I'm doing here. Let's just use... What should we use? Wait. Pause it. Don't run away yet. Don't run away yet. I just want to use something. Should we do like a foot of Gork? Oh, we can't use it. Can't use it. How many is it? 18. We're gonna run away before then. The gaze. It's not gonna really help us too much, is it? Let's do another brain. We're gonna do it on ourselves. Like a kamikaze, crazy foot. Oh, target too close. Oh, it's got the minimum range. I forgot the minimum range. Can we have it here? Can we have it here? God damn. Okay, good. I'm really explaining how to use these spells well. I'm like basically saying how not to use these spells. Should we give ourselves a boost, or should we just shoot some people? Right. Let's get him with the gaze of Mork. Before he murders us horribly in battle. We're focusing. Ooh, it. There you go. Remember, this is a Beast Lord, pretty tough character, and it took a chunk of damage off him. Help us! Help me! He's about to run away. He is about to run away. He's going to lose his frenzy. Friendly? He's definitely not friendly. He's going to lose his friendly because frenzy, because he's wavering in combat. So that's the only thing. There he goes. But actually, we did a fair amount of damage there with just our single character. But anyway, that was just a bit of fun. That's obviously not how you use him in a battle at all. But like I said, standard wizard tactics. You've got all those artillery spells that you can use as they're coming in. I really love the Foot of Gork. It's one of my favourites for the disruption. Just before you charge in, you can absolutely make a mess of people. Even some highly armoured troops and stuff. Just if they're all knocked down and scattered, you can pick them off with a good timely charge. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you did, please do hit that like button and subscribe if you're new to the place. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.